Hey guys, happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Hump day. Hey. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I would say that today, being that we have no sunshine and that it's a little gloomy and dreary, I hope you guys are staying hopeful and grateful and blessed out there, because you know what, you guys, a lot of us are going to get down in the dumps from time to time. We're going to think the worst. We're going to think, coulda, woulda, shoulda, why me, woe is me, this and that, right? Sometimes that happens. There, that's what the noise was. But if we pick up more and more things in recovery, wisdom-wise, knowledge-wise, and the more we learn, we're going to learn that those days are going to be few and far between if we're able to regulate our lives to the degree that we put the bad days behind us and we chalk up the good days. Meaning, in other words, right, that perhaps when we have a bad day, we don't dwell on it, we kind of just let it go. And if we have a good day, we, wrap it up and think about it and let it go. I mean, it's almost the same. You're almost doing the same thing for a bad day as a good day, but for the good day, you're just remembering it, and it stays in your memory as a good experience, right? Whereas if it was a negative day, boo-hoo, this and that, we tend to want to just forget that, right, and not hang on to those bad days. I hope we do, anyways, because we need to be focusing on the positive. We need to be focusing on the ups and not so much the downs. And the slips and trips will happen and this and that, but if we're focusing on the positive, you guys, those negative days are just going to float away and they're going to be insignificant, right? Indeed. So, hey, I was thinking about this the other day. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the podcast was talking a lot about, how people in control like to make people think a certain way, and we almost get accustomed to that, and we get, I don't want to say brainwashed, but that's what the news does. And the news media is very, very, very good at that. And I don't like to talk a whole lot about this kind of stuff because, it's not really my lane. I like to stay in my lane, which is more so recovery and that sort of thing. But in the grand scheme of things, we got to really be mindful of what we're putting in. And let me park here and I'll get right back to you. All right, A+. So listen, my friends, when we get in alignment with, say, a spiritual program of sorts and a spiritual divine connection, because what that means is humbled by our experiences and by the things that we learn are going to teach us what we need to know going forward, so we can have a lot more good days than bad days. Because when the bad days happen, they're going to happen, and we move forward with the idea that we don't want that to happen again, right? So we learn from our mistakes. And I know a lot of times that there are so many experiences in our lives that can contribute to how we're shaped and how we act and how we think and how we be. But we have a baseline, a foundation that is built on what we've known growing up and how we've been taught. And we can break free from the things that we were doing before if it doesn't align with how we are today, right? So being humbled by experiences is going to allow us a lot of times to know what to do going forward and what not to do, because we're going to make mistakes. Recovery isn't easy. It's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of difficult work, and we got to put a lot of time in. And we are all just so different. We're all going to find our niche. We're going to find our road, our path, our journey, our corner of the club, and we're going to be able to do our own thing, right? And who cares what other people think? I'm learning this as we go, and I found out that I used to really, really, really care about what people thought, and I used to really put into consideration about what others said or thought of me or those sorts of things. I haven't always been like this type of guy. You see, I haven't always been easygoing and lighthearted and humorous. I mean, I've always been humorous, but I was a completely different person even just 7 to 10 years ago. And I had no idea where I was going. I had no direction. I had no idea on how to better myself. I kept putting in drugs, and that life was needing to be lived for a reason, because I have a story to tell going forward. And if there are people out there that are wanting to hear a message of hope, you've come to the right place, my friends, because there are very few messages on this channel that will contribute to any kind of negative outlook or viewpoint. We always try to stay positive on this channel. So if you pick up one of my videos, it's going to be, hey, you can do this, we can do this together. It's a program of we, and what I mean by program is recovery, abstinence from the things that we used to do, the drugs, the behaviors, the stinking thinking, the bad ways, and we move on, and we don't dwell on the things that maybe got us into trouble at one point. We move on. We don't dwell on those things. So as summer approaches, there are a lot of times, just one second. Hey my friends, I'm just editing this video and I had to cut it short because I was picking up my son, and he had jumped in the car there and I had to go. So, you guys remember that if we're going to be working on a successful program, it's us, it's we, it's you and I together that can make this happen. So lead into each other. If you need anything, reach out. Love you. God bless you. See you on the next one.